are allowed to boo and hiss if the humor doesn't turn you over and make you laugh. Don't those look like pontoons?
Yes.
Exactly. I'm just pulling it out of you. It's just too painful. No, those are the gas tanks that gave it the ability to go, to accelerate to that speed. Then they drop off, once the tanks are expended. And of course, some poor soul has to go find them in the desert. Aren't they glad they didn't paint them tan-colored? Yeah. Try to go find them now. Yeah. So this is again one of the 2 surviving X-15s. Now we're going to move over to space. So we had to learn how to operate outside our spacecraft. Of course, the astronaut that learns how to do that the second day we walk on. Surviving XB-70. X for experimental, B for bomber, but before it ever was going to be a bomber, they had canceled the bomber concept, but they were still built 2 of them with the funding they had because they wanted to learn about large aircraft going 2,000 miles an hour. This is a joint partnership originally with the Air Force. It's first the Air Force, then it's a partnership Air Force and NASA, and they built 2 XB-70s. Sadly, in 1966, its sister ship suffered a mid-air collision, a couple of casualties. So this is the last surviving XB-70. Yes, it is the only one that's Smithsonian that doesn't have it. Don't get me started about space shuttles. It's a sore subject. Right, Again, flew 100 and some odd, 20 or some odd flights, flown by the help of computers. It proved the concept of stealth that it works. But did you read about it in the paper? You didn't read about it in the paper. It was a classified secret operation. After the testing was done, they stuck it in the hangar, they locked the door. They said this project is still classified. And then eventually they built the first operational stealth aircraft, the F-117. And then they released to the public the F-117 Nighthawk exists. So now we ask ourselves the question. To tell the public about the F-117, why can't you tell them about Tessa Blue? And the answer was, yes you can. And while we're at it, let's donate it to the Museum of Ohio. Global reach. We're finished with space. We're finished with research and development. We're now going to talk global reach, and we've already done it. How do you know? Because we talked about the CD2 packet, and we talked about the C-190 bomber. Those are cargo planes, right? They're in the post-World War II era, and now we're going to talk about, I think, the most famous cargo plane of the last half century or more, C-130 Hercules. How long has it been around? Since 1954. More than 60 years? That's a long time. The shocker, they're still building C-130s. Why? Because it's a very reliable, rugged, easy to maintain, multi-capable airplane for the Air Force, for the Coast Guard, for the Navy, for the Marines, for different countries. They built over 2,000 C-130s. There are different versions of them. The one we have on display is from Vietnam. And when we being the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force, whenever something retires from the Air Force inventory, because we're the National Museum, we get first pick. We reach out into the inventory, into the future. We put our little tag on such and such airplane, such and such airplane. When this airplane retires from the Air Force, it's coming here. It's ours. But you can't have it till it's done, retired. So we tag this C-130 because in Vietnam, at the end of the war, it was involved in an airdrop to friendly troops in South Vietnam, but sadly it came under attack and was hit by, I don't know, rocket propelled, no, maybe it was a surface to air missile, and it hit this airplane, knocked out 2 engines, killed a crew member, wounded another. They lost hydraulics. There was a fire in the cabin of the airplane with the cargo section, and their cargo, by the way, that day was ammunition for the guys on the ground. They immediately had to shove the ammunition out the back to prevent the airplane from exploding. They declared an emergency, landed at Ton Son Nhat Air Base near Saigon, and on the short final to land, one more engine quit. It landed on one engine.
Oh, wow.
Now, what did they do? They repaired it, returned it to service. It served for X number of more years, and then finally the Air Force said we don't need it anymore. And then we said, okay, fine, you can come here to the museum. So this is the aircraft from the Vietnam War in '72. Cut it and remove it, and then they had to yank some seats out, unbolt them from the floor, and move the seats out of the way. Now they're getting the coffin up to the door frame, and the handles are in the way. We got a fix for that. Break the handles. Break the handles off, get the coffin in, swing it around, strap it down to the airplane, and then the pilot of the aircraft tells everybody, strap in, we're starting engines, we're going back to Washington. Lyndon Johnson comes into the cockpit and says, we're not going anywhere until I'm sworn in. It took 1 hour to contact a judge with a Bible and the right words to say for the oath of office for the President of the United States. And it is the only time in the history of our country where a woman swore our President into the oath of office for this new job. An hour. So now they got the oath of office done. They got the airplane on its way back to Washington, D.C. They landed in Washington. 2 days later, this airplane flies again for the ceremony at Arlington. It dips its wing for the interment of the President at Arlington National Cemetery.